Hey guys, I want to talk today about how to get a perfect credit score. Now, let me start with saying I do not have a perfect credit score, but I have in the past. I don't currently, but my credit score fluctuates a lot because, as you know, I build rental properties. My credit utilization goes up tremendously when I'm building, and then when they're finished or I get a draw or something, it gets, the credit utilization goes down dramatically. When it goes down dramatically, that's when my credit score goes up, and I have achieved a perfect credit score around that area. So the other thing before we get started, I want to say is I hate credit scores because there's some statistic out there that's like over 99% of credit scores are wrong because there's some mistake on your credit report. So that's why I hate them. I've seen all kinds of mistakes, crazy mistakes on them, identity theft, just all kinds of crazy things. So you want to go to annualcreditreport.com and get your free credit report. You won't necessarily get the score, but you'll see if there's any mistakes on them. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into how a credit score is calculated. So the biggest factor, 35%, is just on-time payment history. You have to be on time. They really don't penalize you significantly until you get over 30 days, but you don't want to be over 10 days late. Pay everything on time. Basically, nothing else matters if you're not paying your bills on time. If a credit card, if you can't pay it in full, do the minimum payment so it still calculates as an on-time payment history. Okay, the second factor, 30%, is credit card utilization. I just talked about that with how my credit score fluctuates significantly because of my credit utilization. It's basically has to do with your credit card usage, because your term loans, like your real estate and your car loans, they're just going to pay down like a term loan. The third is length of credit history. So this is a big one because it is this is why it's important, when your kids are 18, is just go ahead, open up a savings account, maybe get a loan, a CD secured loan, just so they have some kind of credit history. It's nothing more frustrating for somebody that can't, they have good income and, they're stable, they have good liquidity, good job, but they don't have a credit score because they've never had debt, and now they're like 25 years old and they have everything in place, but they literally don't have a credit score because they don't have any credit history. So maybe I started with a credit card, I had to beg for like a $500 limit or something. I got that, and we've just kind of started from there. It has helped me tremendously. The fourth is your number of credit lines. This is tricky. So this is 10%. This is tricky because you want enough capital to, if you're growing in things, but you don't want too much, so to affect your DTI and things like that. So again, this is a lower weighting, thankfully. So use that. It's just, obviously all this is very personal, how you run, your personal credit lines. Also know that if it needs to be in a business credit card, use that to kind of minimize your credit utilization or your number of credit lines. So the credit card's in the business name and doesn't affect your personal credit score. So the last one is number of inquiries. So this is probably the most controversial because it's, you can get credit inquiries from maybe like AT&T, let's say, if you start a new cell phone plan with them. So people make a big deal about it, like it radically lowers their rate, However, what I've seen is there's other things going on. Usually it's not just the number of credit inquiries because it's only a 10% weighting. Yes, it can affect your credit score, absolutely, but not that significantly. So my last point is, I've been dead wrong. Like I said, I hate credit scores because most of them are wrong, because most of the credit reports are wrong. But I will say it's very important because it affects your cost of credit. The reality is, if you want a loan, you're going to get a lower rate usually if you have a better credit score. That's just the reality. It's the facts of life. People like to argue about it, but it's like playing baseball and arguing about playing 9 innings. That's just the rules of the game. It is what it is. So treat your credit score like a job. It's very important. It affects your cost. So it affects your bottom line very directly if you're borrowing, and it also affects if you can, grow. So hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up, and please hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much.